Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We meet today. Welcome to Lusatec Training Academy. So far, I can see nobody has joined, but since this lesson is recording, I will continue with my session for today. Why are we here? We are here because we need to break the ice and discuss certain things that I feel that they are important, and probably people are asking, or probably our learners will be asking here and there. So I will try by all means to answer some of the questions, even if they are not asked as yet. And if there are questions that people feel to answer, you can be able to raise your hand, I think, in front of your phone or your laptop or your computer, that there is a hand that shows you should raise your hand, so that you can be able to talk. If your microphone is open, try to close it for now. You can only open it when you're asking questions so that we can be able to continue. All right. First and foremost, I'll start by the question probably, which says, what exactly is Lusatec? Who is Lusatec? What is Lusatec? Lusatec is a training academy, ladies and gentlemen, that is head office at Fried in KwaZulu Natal. And from there, that's where we are operating from as we speak. That's where I am. And then we also have a branch in Amajuba district, and we're opening other branches. Now, we are able to offer this particular course online, which basically means that people are not really forced, or they are not really supposed to actually come at our campus and all like that. So that is Lusatec Training Academy. We are accredited with QCTO, and everyone is free to actually ask or to check around QCTO, how QCTO works. If you go to the website at QCTO, you'll find our name is there to show that we are part and parcel of them. We also have accreditation with institutions such as SIOSH. We also have accreditation with SACMP. But that is another talk of another day, unless someone asks a question along those lines. Let me move on to the next question. What is it that is SHEMTRAC? What is SHEMTRAC? Now, you would see that how did we end up coming up with SHEMTRAC, ladies and gentlemen? It is a combination of many aspects in as far as occupational health and safety is concerned. So if a person wants to enter the spectrum of occupational health and safety, right, there are many methods that one can actually use to enter the space. Let me mute Gerald's microphone. Right, okay. Yeah, now we are back. SHEMTRAC, by acronyms, it's safety, right? Health, environment, management training course. If you then combine those letters, then they form SHEM, which is safety, health, environment, management. Then the track, TRA, is from training. C is course. So it becomes SHEMTRAC. So it's safety, health, environment, management, training course. That's SHEMTRAC. In other spaces, you'll find SHEMTRAC in different names. We need to understand that these are just acronyms that are meant to come up with a course, a name of a course. For example, if you are going to be studying political administration, some people would call it Pollard. Oh, what are you studying? I'm studying Pollard. And you'd ask yourself, what is Pollard? Pollard would be political administration, just to give it. Or some people be like, what are you studying? B.Ed. How? What are you studying? B.Ed. No, it's Bachelor in Education. So these are just examples that you can have as many examples as you can, how people call their courses. So in our situation, our course is SHEMTRAC, which is basically that. So what we need to teach you here is to teach you to understand safety. We need to teach you to understand health. We need to teach you to understand environmental things. In this whole aspect, we are referring or referencing to one and most important act, which is Occupational Health and Safety Act. So Occupational Health and Safety Act is the act that forces certain industries or certain companies to actually appoint a safety officer. However, with time, you realize that industry, they grow, ladies and gentlemen. Industry, they grow and they start changing. They revolve or they evolve, right? In our situation in South Africa here, you would see that long back ago, a company was just supposed to have a SHEREP, and that's it, right? But now, as industry is growing or as industry is pursuing its own growth or evolving, we are now finding ourselves in a situation whereby companies are starting to employ a SHEREP, not to appoint from within. Because the act, if you go to the act, it stipulates around section 18, 19 to up to 21 there, that you are supposed to appoint a SHEREP from within, right? Which means if you have got people whom you have already employed, you have to choose from them or they have to choose from themselves. And then that's how it works out. However, nowadays it's quite different. Some companies are actually now employing their own SHEREP. So it's not a crime. It's not really against the law. But at the end of the day, it is important to understand the changes that are happening in our society. Also, the changes that are happening where? In our companies. Right? Now, let's move on to SHEREP thing and go to safety officer. Safety officer, if you would check in the act and the regulations, certain companies do not really need to have a safety officer at all, right? But if you check, because of the evolution of the industry, some companies are now forced or they are now finding ways to actually employ a safety officer. Some, they even go to an extent of employing a safety officer plus an assistant to that safety officer. Then you would see that, okay, these are the evolutions that we are actually seeing in our institutions as we grow. So this is the reason why at the end of the day, we have to learn how to become a safety officer. All right. Now I move on from that question. What is exactly is SHEMTRAC? But maybe I do not finish off there. SHEMTRAC is made up of different what can I call modules, right? The major module here is the introduction to occupational health and safety, which is what we are going to be focusing on. From there, you are going to learn how to manage safety. How do you manage safety? So you would learn what is safety by doing introduction to health and safety, where we introduce you to whole thing called safety, health, environment, and stuff. Then we move to the next chapter, where we are now going to be teaching you how to manage the whole thing. But before we would do this, you also need to understand the legality behind SHEMTRAC or behind occupational health and safety. So we do have certain laws or acts that we need to understand. Occupational Health and Safety Act 85 of 1993. That's a document that each one of us who have joined this SHEMTRAC need to know in and out, because most of the things that we're talking about will continuously be referred back to Occupational Health and Safety, Occupational Health and Safety Act. We also have the act such as COIDA, right? COIDA is an act that was enacted for some reasons that it needs to protect workers. And workers, when they are involved in occupational injuries, and if they contract occupational diseases or certain diseases because of their occupation, they need to be compensated. So for that reason, a safety officer at some point need to understand COIDA, which is the act that is actually meant for that. We also have other acts such as NEMA, right? You would have your NEMA, it's on environment. It's an act that is based on issues of environment. You also need to know other acts such as air pollution, noise pollution, etc, etc. So there are many other acts that one should actually be able to know, but briefly we will be able to talk about those that are of great importance. So that is another topic that we are going to be finding in SHEMTRAC. So we have spoken about 3 topics so far. A topic about introduction to safety. Then we talk about legislation, which is your acts. Then we start to talk about what do you use to manage safety. When we are managing safety, we need to understand that what is being a safety officer. Safety officer does work with your people, such as your first aider, your fire marshals, your SHE-reps. And when you come together, you formulate what is called a safety committee. How do you formulate a safety committee? How does a safety committee run? etc, etc. All those things they are under managing health and safety. We also need to teach you how to do management. What are the tasks that a person who is in management do? Because a safety officer is a manager of some sort, because your daily job is to manage safety at your workplace. So at the end of the day, without running away from facts, a safety officer is a manager on his or her own right. When we move on there, we are then going to start looking into items that we use when we are managing safety. For instance, we have got a very important aspect of a safety officer or anybody who is working in occupational health and safety, which is HIRA. Right? HIRA is very important because that is an everyday job of a safety officer. A safety officer is actually supposed to be doing HIRA every day, every second, every minute. I don't know how can I explain it. As I'm teaching right now, I'm looking at the screen and I'm seeing some of the participants who are sharing their screens here. It's raining, there's water everywhere and so on. Therefore, there are risks involved when it's raining. So you can see that a job of a safety officer is always available. If it's not raining, it might be very hot. When it's very hot, also there are risks involved with heat waves and so on and so on. So at the end of the day, what am I trying to put here? I'm saying an safety officer need to be performing HIRA every day. HIRA, it's not something that you perform after a very long time. We will be talking about what we call a baseline assessment. We are also going to talk about issue-based assessment. We are also going to talk about what we call different aspects in terms of assessment. Why are we talking about those? Because HIRA, it is a very important aspect when we come to safety officers. So it is a topic on its own and it stands on its own because you need to learn how to identify all the hazards that are there at your work. After you have identified them, you need to be able to find how much risk are they posing to your employees and yourself and everyone. And then you also be able to assess. After assessing, you put on control measures. Okay, moving on, as much as we can have HIRA being performed, you also need to have another way of managing your health and safety, is performing incidents investigation. So it is also a topic that, a module that we have added onto SHEMTRAC. You need to be able to perform incident investigation. Why? Because for you to be able to identify risks as you move on, you should be able to have tools or places where you can be able to pull information about these risks. And one of the most important aspects there is when you actually do perform incident investigation. For example, if you are in a shop and somebody slips and falls down, you cannot just then say, it has happened, we record the incident and we move on. You need to investigate so that you can be able to know what could have been the causes. And these causes are the same causes that are actually going to help you in the near future when you are preparing your site so that you know nobody's going to fall again. So that's another topic that we are going to be finding under SHEMTRAC. We move on to the next thing. We are then going to be looking into each aspect one by one, where you are going to be talking about how do you manage stress at work, how do you manage people who want to say they don't want to put on PPEs, how do you stop work, how do you perform SOPs, and so on and so on and so on. So there are a lot of things that we're also going to be seeing in this package of SHEMTRAC. Next, you are going to talk about how to handle emergencies. We have got 2 emergencies that we have put in there. You are going to be able to handle emergencies in terms of first aid. So a safety officer needs to know first aid and need to be trained as a first aider. Therefore, it is part of SHEMTRAC. And then another emergency can be situations of fire at work. Therefore, we are also going to be training you or teaching you basic firefighting and emergency evacuation system, right? Then we are also going to be looking at dangers or some of the hazards that can happen, such as working at heights. So we are also going to be having working at heights is part and parcel of our what? Of our training. At the end of towards the end of the training, then we are going to be talking about how to create a safety file. What is the purpose of a safety file? Why are companies forced to come up with a safety file? And we need to be in a position where we stop our safety officers from buying safety files from other people. They are not saying their business should be broke. No, but if you are a safety officer who have been trained at Lusatec, you can't go around buying a safety file. No. A safety officer from Lusatec Training Academy need to be able to create his or her own safety file without buying it, because that is what we are going to be teaching you towards the end of the course. Now, when you are done with the course, ladies and gentlemen, it's either you are going to be doing this course face-to-face or you can be doing this course online. At the end of the day, you are going to be meeting me here online, because that's a certain way of making this thing available to everyone. So from time to time, I'll be going on WhatsApp or going on any other platform, Facebook, TikTok, and I would post that the lesson is going to be on this particular time, on this particular day. And then anybody is free to join, whether you are our learner or not. You can be able to join, listen to the topics that we are talking about, and also you are free to ask questions from wherever you are, either by posting it on our social media, or you can even ask right away on this platform. Right, I'm moving on because our today's lesson is not going to be that long due to the fact that today is an introductory lesson here. Let's move to the next part. The next part I wanted to talk about was the accreditation and the registration. Our company is accredited. If you would ask our admin, they can be able to send you pictures of our accreditation. Of course, we can't send you the whole page because people, they tend to misuse our accreditation. You must also understand that accreditation is like an ID document. Not everyone can ask your ID right now and you can be able to send it and say, hey, have my ID right now. It's not as easy. You check who should you send and so on. But for as long as you are registered with us, you have a chance to actually check on our accreditation and find out how is it going there. All right, then we move on to the next part. What are the opportunities in industry? What are the opportunities in industry for people who have studied SHEMTRAC? You need to understand that studying, to be very frank here, I'm going to be blunt as possible. Studying does not necessarily mean you are employed. A lot of people would then ask, am I going to be employed by your certificate? I'm like, guys, look, we are an education institution. What we are doing here is to teach you. And then after teaching you, we give you a certificate. How are you going to look for a job? It's not really on our side, to be very frank. Are you lucky enough to get a job? It's not on our side. Do you have connections to get a job? It's not on our side. Do you apply as much as you can? Do you follow up on your applications and so on? It's not on our side. What do we do as Lusatec? We teach you, we train you, we put you in a job market situation. Go and look for a job, right? Now you are looking for a job. I don't think it is fair for people then to say, with certificate as a Lusatec, you don't get a job. With the certificate as a Oxbridge, you don't get a job. With the certificate as a IQ Academy, you don't get a job. with a certificate of other institutions, you don't get a job. That's actually unfair. We do have quite a number of students who have got jobs using our documents. How did they get that job? We don't know, because they are the ones who have been applying for those jobs. We also have another number of students who don't have a job and they have our certificates. How are they not getting their job? The job? It's also not on us. We don't know. We wish we could know. How do we come in as LUSATEC and help people? Those who have registered, they can see that we are on a platform where we are offering free courses that are meant to build your life. For example, there is a course there on LUSATEC that is teaching people how to do their CV, how to add up this and that for them to be marketable. Those are some of the courses that we put aside and assist our learners so that they can be able to get employed or be employable. But to be very frank, you cannot point your school and say, because I studied at this school, therefore I'm not employed because of that. No. Another thing, again, there is a question about separation between SHEMTRAC and SHEMTRAC. We should understand that these are one and same thing. We are different institutions offering these things. People might think that going to NOSA and learning SHEMTRAC, because SHEMTRAC only is offered by NOSA, because NOSA, they did what they call registering the name, blah, blah, blah. So nobody can be able to what? To use that name SHEMTRAC anymore. You will see that there are thousands and thousands of people who learned at NOSA who are also not working. So the notion that if you go to NOSA, you are going to work does not make sense at all. Because there are thousands of them who are also not working, and they did NOSA long back ago, not even now, right? There are also people who have studied Bachelor of what at VETS, they are not working. There are some people who have studied Bachelor of what at UNISA, they are not working. There are some people who have also learned at Harvard in the United States of America, and they are not working right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's never about your qualification. It's about how do you look for a job, how lucky are you, how connected are you, and where are you exactly marketing. At the end of the day, that's how it works. Those who are working, they will tell you very well there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on from that part and answer another question that I have got here so that we can wind up quickly. Studying online versus studying face-to-face, how does LUSATEC sort that thing out? For everyone who is registering at LUSATEC, we will have an opportunity to study online. But if you want to, if you are closer, let's say you are close by our campus and you want to attend face-to-face classes, just find out from our admin the dates for face-to-face classes. I'll ask her to post it on our group so that people can know which dates are available for face-to-face learning, because instructors are not always at campus, but management is always at campus. So that's the reason there. However, everybody, whether you are doing distance, you are doing face-to-face, you are doing online, you all have a chance to attend these sessions that I'm offering right now. For example, 1 to 2 or something like that. So you have the opportunity, you can be able to log in and study anywhere, anytime. Another question would be, what's the duration of SHEMTRAC? What is the duration of SHEMTRAC? Let me take this hand. Where is your hand? I can't say it. All right. I can't see the raised hand. Where is it? I wanted to accept it. But I hope I'll pick it. I'll pick it again. Or can you raise it again so that I can see it? I wanted to actually. I'll check who is raising hand. If you could raise the hand again so that I can be able to allow you to ask the question. Anyway, so while I'm talking, I'll be checking the hand. So where was I? The issue was the issue about the duration of SHEMTRAC. If you would check from the online platform where you have been logging in, you can see that if you are well dedicated, if you are well dedicated, you can be able to start from assignment 1 up to assignment 10, if I'm not mistaken, within a day or 2 days and finish them all, right? And then maybe the third day you are able to write the final. But the biggest part here is that you might, if you do that, you might not have learned enough. Hence, it's very important to learn. So we normally say it would need 17 days for you to finish SHEMTRAC, but somebody can finish SHEMTRAC quicker, or somebody can finish SHEMTRAC later. You can even take 6 months. No one's going to be chasing you around to finish quickly. Or you can decide to say, you know what, in 2 weeks I want to be done. Or you can say, you know what, I'm dedicated, I'm going to finish in 1 week. That is not a problem, and no one is going to force you not to do so. It all depends on how you are going to be handling yourself online. Remember now, you are going to have assignments, and each and every assignment is made up of questions, especially multiple choice questions, which are true or false of that nature. If you are going to make 60% or above for those questions, then you are able to continue. So to the next part and so on. If you finish them all in time and then write the examination in time and pass it, then there's nothing wrong about that. It means you have finished earlier, right? Those who are going to say, you know what, I want to take my time because I'm working or I'm busy or I've got a child, I've got this and that, so I can't rush things. I'm going to be logging in every night for 1 hour or for 30 minutes, and then tomorrow I do the same thing, or next week I do the same thing. Therefore, such a person will take his or her time to finish. So I would not want really to speculate and say, our duration is 10 days, or our duration is 17 days, or our duration is 1 month, or our duration is what. It is all upon yourself, how far you want to move on. I've seen some of you who have already done quests up to assignment 7, right? I won't call names, it's fine. I've seen some of you have done up to assignment 3. I've seen some of you have not done up to assignment 3 because some of them are locked, right? Yes, if you find it logged, it's logged because you are not yet fully registered with Lusatec. People who are fully registered with Lusatec are able to access every assignment, every test, everything on the site. If there is something that is still logged on site, it means you have not paid Lusatec. Therefore, it's very important for you to talk to the admin officer so that the admin officer can be able to sort you out in terms of payment. In terms of payment, our minimum payment amount is 700 for you to be able to be registered. However, if there is any chance that you would want to discuss with the admin to say, you know what, I still have so much money, can I deposit and then deposit the other one later? Please do so that you can have your modules opened up. I can see right now we are in class and we have got about 6 people in this class. It might not be the same number that is on our LMS. On our LMS, we have got about 104 people who registered. So you can imagine 104 people have registered, but some of them have not, of course, paid the money so that they can be able to access everything, right? SHEMTRAC, like I said at the beginning, is made up of different modules. Therefore, there are 2 additional modules that are there, first aid and basic firefighter. So you need to do them separately. I think you can see it when you log in that there is 4 things in front of you. There is SHEMTRAC, there is first aid, there is basic firefighter. Then there's a free course which is written what I'll remember about it. So let me not talk about the free course, because the free course you have got a choice to do it or not to do it. It's up to you. But the most important courses are these 3 courses. You do your SHEMTRAC. Don't forget to do your first aid. Don't forget to do your basic firefighter. Because when we give you the certificates, they come 3 certificates to you. You will have your SHEMTRAC certificate, you will have your basic firefighter certificate, and then you have your first aid certificate at the same amount you have paid for SHEMTRAC. Because we believe that you cannot be a safety officer without understanding fire hazards. You can't be a safety officer without understanding basic first aid, because you are their leader. You are the leader of basic firefighters at your work. You are the leader of all the first aiders. You should be knowing what they are doing every day so that you can be able to lead them, right? So those courses are part and parcel of SHEMTRAC. Let me check if there's any other question I did not do. Online campus, that's where you guys are learning. It's our LMS. Most of the things are done from there. One thing that I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that do not take online learning if you do not have access to data. If you are running on a data, free Facebook, free WhatsApp, free this, free that, or whatsoever, it will be very difficult for online learning. Online learning demands data. And Tina, as Lusatec, we are still a small institution. We are not yet offering free data platform. It's still something that you need to pay for on your own. Therefore, if somebody does not have data, it will be very difficult for you to learn. Some they call it data. If you don't have data, it will be very difficult for you to learn. So please get data, and log in as much as possible. Sometimes I check, I see people are not logging in, and I always assume it's data problems. Let's log in there and sort it out. Finally, when you have paid the deposit or the fees, make sure that you discuss, you conduct MEM Tandega so that you can also be registered manually at campus. Remember, people from QCTO, they will come to our campus from time to time and they want to see your files. They want to see your file there. So we need to open a file for you there. Please contact our admin, or the admin will contact you to make sure that the file is complete. I'm done talking for today. Can I take questions now? If there are no questions, then I'll be able to shut down our today's lesson. Any questions?
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hey, afternoon, Alwani.
I just wanted to ask about the or what you can fail.
Failing, yes, failing. You can fail. You can fail. However, if you can check on our LMS, each and every assessment has got 3 attempts, right? So
okay.
if you do the first attempt and you fail, you are given another opportunity. Yeah, the system might not allow you to redo same day. It might say redo after 1 day or after 2 hours, right? But you have got 3 opportunities. If you fail number 3, you have to re-register.
You have to. Oh.
Yes. You have got 3 attempts to do each and every assessment. So you are given an opportunity to redo. I don't think you can fail after 3 times.
No, yeah, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions? Right, I've got a question here from one of our participants. Says, if I am doing SHEMTRAC, as you said, it comes with basic firefighter course and also comes with OHS. Does those certificates expire? Good question. All right. Now, these are 3 certificates, ain't it? First aid, basic firefighter, then SHEMTRAC. SHEMTRAC certificate does not expire because this is a complete course. It does not expire. But first aid, it does expire. You all know that first aid, it does expire, and also the basic firefighter, it also does expire, right? Then the question also continues and say, and also as for HIRA or any other short course, do we also fail? Right, look, when you are doing other courses such as HIRA and so on, you cannot fail, because at Lusatec you are given 3 chances. You are given 3 chances to actually get assisted. However, if you would check now, if you are going to do the first attempt, you fail. You do the second attempt, you fail. You are not going to do the 3rd attempt without one of our instructors contacting you, because the system will tell us that we have got a learner who has failed twice, right? then we are going to reach out to you to discuss how best we can assist you so that the last attempt you can't fail. I cannot be a person who stands here and say no one is gonna fail. That would be a lie, right? But what we are saying here is that we are giving you enough opportunities to redo your work. Now, if you are an older person who understands life, if you fail first time, it means you need to go back and study. And you need to go back, study, so that you can be prepared for the second chance. You cannot just fail the first chance and then you want to do the second chance without going back and study. That would be very wrong. So as adults, we need to be in that position where after you have done the first fail, then go back and study again so that you can prepare for the next test. Any further questions? Right. I'll start with the first one. Yes. Right. Alwan. What have I done? Did I? Hello? Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
if I may ask,
Yes, sir.
apart from SHEMTRAC, do also other short courses do expire?
There are some courses in OHS. Courses in OHS, most of them they do expire. Some they don't expire, right? And this is a discussion that is still there at QCTO to sort that thing out. But you need to understand why the certificates in OHS expire. They expire because they would want you to renew for you to learn new things in the industry. Because the industry is an industry that changes every now and then. Therefore, from time to time, some of these certificates will expire for you to come back and learn, or when you are renewing, you then learn new stuff, right? But I can promise you that QCTO is trying to stop that thing of expiry of certificates. The problem is the Department of Labor, which is the department that runs the OHS. They are saying people need to be running on those same thing where certificates should expire so that they can go back and learn new things because the industry is ever changing. So to answer your questions, yes, we do have courses that do not expire at all, and then we do have courses that actually expires. Right. I hope you are answered.
Yes, I'm answered, sir. Like, so if it is expired, do I have to restart it, or I just what is it?
Okay. I think I
Just
hear your question.
renew it.
You have to renew it, but as an institution, when we renew it, we do give you some assessment to check if you still remember things that are part and parcel of your course. For example, if it's first aid, right? If it's first aid, we would expect you to actually perform things like CPR, perform things like covering a wound and stuff like that, for us to see that, do you still remember how to perform first aid? Because there is a chance that you might get a certificate today and never perform any first aid until it expires because no one in front of you has fallen or has fallen sick. So in that situation, we cannot just let you come back and we give you another certificate. We give you an assessment, which we call a reassessment. We are reassessing you to check if you are still able to perform what you are qualified to do. However, it's not strictly that you should come back to Lusatec. You can go to other institutions if you want to renew, or you can come to Lusatec with the certificate of other institutions to renew with us. We are also almost operating in the same way, even though a little bit different. However, it will be easier if you come back to Lusatec because we are the best. Hope you are answered. Any more contributions? Alwani, who had raised a hand, and I think I did not recognize you. Are you still having a question? Go ahead.
No, it's a mistake. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we no longer have more questions, can I stop this meeting? However, you can continue in our group or on our LMS under discussions to ask further questions, and I will still answer them. For now, can we go back to work for those who are working? I will try by all means to continue doing them around 1 o'clock so that people who are working can be able to meet me during lunch. So these lessons will continue around 1 for most times. And then those who did not attend this lesson, they will get a link for them to view our recorded lesson, because as we speak, we have been recording our conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet in class and continue learning. Have a great day. Thank you.